Ideally, we would all live with only those things we truly value. But life doesn't always make it as easy as it sounds. We might not realize how many similar things we already have, how much of our clothes we actually wear, or how unnecessary it was to buy that one thing just to use it a couple of times. We can choose to ignore it for one reason or another until one day we have to actually sort through it all and decide what to keep and what to let go. And when we do, we might find that there are only a handful of things we truly value and care about. For me, all of those things were reduced to 5 suitcases. If you've been following my journey, you know that my husband and I are making an international move, and a big part of that process was getting rid of 90% of our stuff. I made a whole video on what I learned during the decluttering process, and today I wanted to share with you what I actually decided to keep and bring with me on the road and eventually to Portugal. So here is everything I own. Starting with some practical things I use in my everyday life, and the first one I'll mention is my travel yoga mat. This one is much thinner than my regular yoga mat, but gets the job done. Has a pretty good grip, but more importantly, it's light and thin enough to fold and pack into my suitcase. I bring this with me wherever I go, so I can keep up with my yoga, my workout routine, anywhere, anytime I want, without having to rely on a specific equipment or a gym. Speaking of doing things I love, there's nothing I love more than starting my day with a cup of hot coffee or tea. It's part of my everyday routine, so of course I had to bring my AeroPress and my matcha bowl with me. The AeroPress was a departing gift from a friend, and I've been using it every day since. It's so compact, which makes it perfect for traveling, and it brews my coffee just in minutes. It makes a really good cup of coffee too. My matcha bowl is also an essential because to me, there's nothing more comforting than a cup of matcha. I know that I'll be using this all the time, so it just made sense to bring it along. I am the official hairdresser for myself, my husband, and our 2 dogs, so my haircutting shears were an essential. I don't even remember where I bought it or how much it was, but it probably saved me hundreds of dollars by now from going to the salon and getting expensive haircuts. For months, I've been organizing my paper clutter, and I've reduced it down to just this one accordion folder. These are either original documents or physical copies that we just needed to bring with us, and the rest is stored away into my hard drive. Moving on to some random personal belongings I kept to make me feel at home. First thing I'll mention is my silk pillowcase. Anything that helps me to get a good night's sleep is worth it to me, so this one has been one of the best investments. I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys, but we rented out our home on Maui as furnished, so I was able to leave some big furniture, my paintings, and other decor for our tenant. But I also didn't want to come completely bare, so I packed what I could. Super random, but I brought my favorite placemat from a thrift store at my previous job, my incense holder, a Japanese wind chime, and a handmade succulent holder that my friend made for me. At first, I was really hesitant on bringing my creator award because it's really big and bulky, but I decided that this was going to be my reminder to myself to keep doing what I love. Sometimes having those visual reminders can be motivating. I love to read, but having moved around so much all my life, I learned that it's just not worth it to ship heavy boxes of books halfway across the world. So I decided to only keep the ones I have a special attachment to. I've mentioned The Prophet so many times on my channel because I find myself rereading this book all the time. I love it so much that I actually have a version in French that I found in a bookstore in Paris. The Sun and Her Flowers and Milk and Honey, because I love her poetry. Walden by Henry David Thoreau, which I'm rereading right now because I feel like I'm living his experience. Next is my journal. Writing has always been my preferred way of processing my thoughts. I've been more attached to it than ever because I'm going through such a big transition in my life right now. I just love the simplicity of having a pen and paper to jot down whatever I'm feeling at the moment. What really takes up the most space in my suitcase is clothes and shoes. For my shoes, I kept my everyday strappy sandals, one closed-toe slip-ons, Chelsea boots for cold rainy days, my running shoes, and my slippers that are a little bit beat up and desperately need to replace. For my bags, my rattan crossbody for everyday use, one going out shoulder bag, my fanny pack for walking the dogs, and my brown suede bag. Since the southern region of Portugal has a similar climate to Maui, I'm so happy that I can wear most of my clothes. I have 4 denim and 2 overalls, a good mix of tanks, t-shirts, and long sleeves that match, 4 sweaters in all different colors and thickness, 3 jackets, 2 skirts, 4 linen pants and shorts, and a handful of sundresses that are currently in the wash right now. Also, I didn't include my swimsuits and my workout clothes, but maybe I can make another video to go into more detail. I could probably reduce even more, but I feel like this is a good amount for now. I can mix and match and create different outfits for my everyday and for when I travel as well. For my skincare and my makeup, I have these 2 bags. The green bag is my everyday makeup, the toiletry bag has my shower necessities, and my skincare essentials. At the moment, which is sunscreen, vitamin C, retinol, cleanser, and my favorite exfoliator. I have a whole suitcase dedicated to my camera and tech gear, which I need for my work. I have a laptop, of course, 2 hard drives for all of my photos and videos, a little compact mouse, Bose headphones that I cannot live without, and a mic to record all of my voiceovers. Oh, and I have a lot of cords and chargers that go along with everything I just mentioned. I really try to minimize it and think about what I actually use so I can bring my work with me everywhere I go. I think that pretty much sums up everything I own. It's never about the number of things we own, but I do think it's important to have a perspective on how much or how little we truly need. I hope that it encourages you to look around your home and think about what's truly important to you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all the love and support as always. Until next week, take care and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.